It was a warm summer morning in 79 AD, and the city of Pompeii felt invincible. Merchants shouted through the forum. Children splashed in fountains. Bakers pulled fresh loaves from their ovens. Fishermen hauled nets from the bright blue bay. Life was good. Then, without warning, the mountain exhaled. A deep, guttural roar rolled across the landscape. Windows rattled. Birds exploded into the air. Dogs began howling as if the world were ending. People froze, their heads turning toward Mount Vesuvius. A plume of white smoke rose from its summit, thin at first, then thickening, darkening, expanding, until it swallowed the sky. No one understood what they were seeing. But within hours, this city would no longer exist. Pompeii would become a grave of ash, a memory carved in stone. You see, Vesuvius wasn't feared, it was admired. Its slopes were covered in vineyards that produced the best wine in Italy. Its peak was gentle and green. The Romans didn't even have a word for volcano. They didn't know mountains could explode. They didn't know nature could kill this fast. But Vesuvius had been warning them. Years before, earthquakes had shaken the city, splintering temple walls. Animals had fled the countryside. People just laughed it off. They thought the gods were angry, but not murderous. They had no idea that for decades, molten rock had been rising beneath them, the pressure tightening like a coiled fist. And on this day, that fist finally opened. Around noon, the mountain erupted with a sound like the earth screaming. A column of ash shot skyward 10, 15, 20 miles, becoming a monstrous, churning pillar of fire and smoke. The sky went dark. Ash began to drift over Pompeii like snow. People reached out, letting the soft, warm flakes fall on their palms. Then it grew heavier. Then it started to burn. By 1 o'clock, the ash had thickened into a storm. People covered their mouths with cloth as torches flickered in the sudden darkness. Some prayed, some panicked. Some still thought it would pass. They were wrong. At 2 o'clock, the first stones fell. Pumice rained from the sky in a deadly hail. Small at first, then fist-sized, then large enough to crush skulls. Roofs buckled, tiles exploded. People fled into the streets, shielding their heads with anything they could find: baskets, planks, pottery. The world was roaring. The air burned. The sky was a black, swirling monster. But Pompeii didn't know that the most lethal force hadn't even arrived yet. By 4 o'clock, it was total blackout. Daylight had vanished. Ash choked the streets. People crawled along walls, unable to see. Breathing became a fight. Every inhale cut like broken glass. Families fled toward the gates. Others hid in homes, in baths, in cellars. Nowhere was safe. At 5 o'clock, the first surge came. The towering column above the volcano collapsed. A pyroclastic flower hurricane of fire, ash, and gas raced down the mountain at unimaginable speed. It reached the nearby city of Herculaneum first. The city vanished. Not slowly, instantly. Bodies vaporized. People died before their minds could even understand they were dying. By 10 o'clock at night in Pompeii, buildings began to fall. The sheer weight of the ash crushed rooftops, beams splintered, walls folded. People trapped beneath the rubble screamed for help until their voices were swallowed by the ash. By midnight, the city was suffocating. The air had turned toxic. Sulfur burned the lungs, smoke blinded the eyes. People pressed cloth to their faces, some soaked in wine, desperately trying to breathe. They coughed, they choked, and they collapsed. Children curled against their parents. Couples held each other. Strangers shared final breaths in the dark. And then came the surge that killed Pompeii in seconds. At 7 in the morning, on August 25th, a second pyroclastic flow tore down the mountain, hotter than fire, faster than any horse. It hit Pompeii like a tidal wave of ash. People died instantly. Some mid-step, some mid-breath, some mid-prayer. Their bodies burned, their muscles contracted, their mouths opened in silent screams. Ash filled the void around them, encasing them, preserving them. Pompeii didn't just die. It froze a city, suspended in a single, horrific moment. When the sky finally cleared, Pompeii was gone. Ash lay 20 feet deep. The bustling city was silent. Time moved on. Empires rose and fell, but Pompeii remained beneath the earth, a ghost waiting to be found. Nearly 17 centuries later, when archaeologists began excavations, they discovered empty cavities in the hardened ash spaces shaped like people. They filled them with plaster, and the dead reappeared. A woman shielding her child, a man covering his mouth, a dog chained to a post, twisting in terror, a family holding one another as the world ended around them. Pompeii's final day was carved into stone, and from its silence comes a truth humanity can never forget. The earth remembers everything, and sometimes it shows us what it did.